Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Welcome to Shagalinku. It's the Wednesday's edition of the show, and we're here. I think this is the first for the year. So let's just say Happy New Year to everyone and congratulations for making it to 2023. Okay, my guest today is someone we've been trying to reach for like 4 or 5 years now. Every time she's either traveling or I'm traveling or something. And today, finally, this 2023 will be sweet because today, finally, she agreed to be our guest on the show. So, for those of you joining us, this is Shagalinku, and my name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. We're streaming live on three destinations on Shagalinku TV, YouTube page, on Shagalinku TV, Facebook page, and then on my personal page, Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. We'll be looking at something very important, even though we'll be discussing with our guest to tell us on her journey into music and all of that. But we're also looking at the challenges of small scale businesses and how people can excel. This is 2023, and I know a lot of people in their New Year resolutions would have said, okay, they will do extra hustles, they will try their hands in a few more things aside their maybe 9 to 5 jobs and all of that. And that's why we're bringing in our guest, Annie, also known as Mrs. Annie Ibrahim, and she has a lot of AKAs, but I'll let her do all of that. Let me bring her in, and then she will tell us more about herself. Nani Akefi.
Yeah. Mommy. When I have to finish up.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I am so excited that yes, me too. Finally, thank God I'm here. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Such an honor. Yes, like you said, my name is Annie Ibrahim, popularly known as Annie. Annie sings. AKA, so she said AKA, AKA Annie sings, AKA the preacher, AKA the singer, and I'm glad to be here, AKA the businesswoman. I can't hear. I can't. Your audio seems to have gone.
Yeah, I said AKA the London suit and AKA the business tycoon.
Everything, all and all. Now they do all and all.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so
Before we
much.
go on, Wesley from United States of America said he's waiting and here. Domino's from Ibadan is also here. We have viewers across the world, so they will join us at every point in time. But Annie, let's start with first things first. Who is Annie? How have you been? We'll come back to your music, but basically, who is Annie aside all the AKAs you have reeled out for us?
Okay. Annie is a Nigerian, um Deltan, Urobo babe, married to a Nigerian Yoruba man. I am a mother of three, and married to one of the best guys on earth. And like I said earlier, I'm from Delta State. I'm Nigeria. I am a musician. I am also a businesswoman, and I'm just your simple go-to lady at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that introduction. So let's even start with the music. Um, a lot of people know the business side of Annie. Some stumbled on your music. Some know Annie the purple wardrobe person. You are a lady of many parts, and I'll be able to take as many parts as the interview can let us for today. But let's start with the music. How did it start for you? One, and how were you able to transcend from coming from a musician from the north to Lagos? Because a lot of times there's always this disconnect. People will like, should I stay back in Abuja? Should I stay back in Jos? Should I stay back in this? But we all know Lagos is the hub for entertainment. So who was Annie as a musician, as a gospel singer in Kano, and as you transcended to Lagos?
Okay, so for me, Kano always, anytime I remember Kano or talk about Kano, there's this nostalgic feeling, that comes with it. Kano was I'll say my primary, or so to say, place of birth. though I wasn't born in Kano, but I was raised in Kano from when I was an infant. So I can simply say it's my place of birth. I grew up in Kano basically from an infant to a very, very old, mature girl before I left. Had my secondary, primary education in Kano. So for me, music started a long time ago at age 14, 15, when I was a choir, part of the choir in my church back then, the New Generation Bible Church. And then gradually I noticed that my desire for music, my love for music was escalating, and I was really loving it. And then I started recording songs, I started recording music, and before you know what's happening, my love for music just went, to another level. And then so moving from Lagos from Kano to Lagos, it was just a natural thing. I think it just happened. Okay, it wasn't. I never planned, because I love Kano so much that I was doing well. I had 2 concerts in Kano back then, where I had people from Lagos coming, because by then in 2009 I went into music fully. So I was already introduced to some of the big names in Lagos, and the relationship had built over time, but I was still in Kano. I had 2 different concerts in Kano. I remember back then I brought Kefi, and then the next one we did was Sammy Oposu, DJ Gosporella, Daddy Shoki,
Essence.
Remember Essence, and Nikilawi of this world. When Kano, that was in 2011, you can imagine. So migrating from Kano to Lagos just happened. It just happened. I would just say God planned it like that, because God always plans our life. So for me, it just happened. And from then on, of course, Lagos is where you have everybody, anything and everything you want, a video, producers, marketers, buyers of your music, everybody is in one place. So it made it a lot easier to flourish in the music business in Lagos. So for me, that was how music started for me in Kano, and then migrating to Lagos and coming this far, music-wise.
Okay, I got a message here. It's on the screen. If you can see it, could you quickly read it? It's from Ibrahim Usman.
Ibrahim has my surname. That's either my senior brother from another mother from another Ibrahim. Yes, so I'm happy to be here, Mr. Ibrahim. So we are happy to meet you. Really, I'm so glad to be here. Yeah.
Okay, so let's come to your journey. You've always talked about, everyone who knows you knows that you've always passionately talked about how Kefi has been instrumental to your sojourn in music, DJ Gosporella, and then the late Sam Oposu as well. May God bless his soul. How did you take the news? For every time one of that happened, a few friends who know you calls me and ask, have you checked on Annie? We know she's very close with XYZ. Please check on her and all of that. How were you able to take that, when you heard? First, let's start with Kefi and then Sammy.
Okay, so my very first song, I remember back then, Come and See, was that was the very first song I did professionally, and it had Kefi on it. Okay, so when we recorded, we built a bond. Myself and Kefi, we built a bond, and then our friendship started. That was in 2009 into 10. My bond with Kefi, became stronger. In fact, Kefi introduced me to most of the people, the big names in the industry that I knew, because she told me, you can't stay in Kano, you need to be in Lagos. And then when I came into Lagos, she made sure that everything, went fine. So we weren't just colleagues, we were friends, we were very good friends. So much that, she showed me practically everything. So you can imagine losing a friend like that at that age. So for a second, I was a bit confused, like, oh, wow, what do I do? But, God will just have a way of helping us. So that was very painful for me, losing Kefi. And then luckily I still had other people, and then sadly again, Sammy, who was one person who really also helps me. I will never forget that man. He helped me so much all the time. We had to do other businesses, music wise, where we had to do campaign songs and stuff like that. He will, because he tells me, you're my Delta sister. I know you're a Kano girl, but so it's just so sad that Sammy had to also go. by the permission of God. I miss both of them greatly, to be honest, but we're still here. We're still here, and God is helping us.
Amen. So many messages are coming in. We'll just read some of them, and then there's one here from Elegant V. If you see it, kindly read.
She said, "Glad to join." Welcome, Elegant V.
And then there's one here from Close Aesthetics. The person says it's nice joining the program. Thank you, Close Aesthetics.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, then someone from Kano. Okay, we've read this one from Ibrahim. Yeah, and then the guy in USA said he's listening to us right now. Wesley, thank you so much for joining us. So keep your messages coming. We have Annie in the house. She's a mother, a businesswoman, a musician, songwriter, Bogo Tibo, and all of that. So let's even let's come to the business angle. A lot of people don't know. They might just see Purple Wardrobe, maybe in videos, how you costume others and all of that, and they don't also know that Purple Wardrobe also handles some of your video costuming. How did you come into the fashion world? I wouldn't just say boutique, because fashion is like life. It takes someone who has an innate quality about it to do fashion. So how did you come into the fashion space, and how is it now for you, and then Purple Wardrobe as well?
Okay, so generally business runs in my family, to be honest, beginning from our mom, who used to in Kofanrua that time. Oh yes, I remember. I remember Kofanrua. My mom used to have a restaurant back then in Kofanrua when we used to eat. So I like to mention all these names so that people will know that I'm really, really Kano person. We used to live in Kuna a bit then, and so my mom had a restaurant in Kofanrua. So we always, so business, and then from food business, she moved into fashion. So you can begin to start imagining where my business acumen came from. So my mom started doing clothing and all of that. Of course, we will help her. That was like, as a girl, you have to help your mother or your father do. So from there, we started learning stuff, and then my big sister, Vera, also went into the clothing business, and then I was just learning at, I think, about age 19 or 17 or thereabout. I was already, doing a little bit of buying and selling. I was in school then. People know me in school then. I will bring stuff and you will buy. I'll have your name written on the paper and you pay my money. Sometimes I sell credit. Generally, my desire for business, because me, I like to interact. I'm the type that interact. I'm a very sociable person. So it was easy for me to convince people. Somebody told me when they say you can convince somebody to buy raincoats during Harmattan season because you have a persuasive. So persuasion, for me was very strong. So it was easy for me to go into the business. So from there, from school, I started doing business. And when I got married, I had to also now go into it full scale. No, but not so big. But I, started buying stuff from coming to Lagos then to come and buy things from Lagos, go and sell in Kano. Everything I will attribute to God, because there's nothing we have in this life that God, didn't give us. So bit by bit, I started bringing stuff from the UK. I had not traveled then, but I had friends there, so I'll send money, they'll bring clothes. Then I started working in the bank, FCMB then. I'll sell clothes, suits, I have it. So at a point I had to stop work and then face the business. So I'll carry my daughter, carry my clothes in the car, drive around Kano, God of heaven, all those roads in Kano, all those banks, and then here we are today. We go everywhere we want to go in the world by the grace of God in the name of this business, and we're flourishing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because I really like how you you described your humble beginnings, because a lot of times people just see people from the top and don't know the success stories and all of that. Yeah. So it's, and I know for every person watching this, every young girl who wants to get to that level will know that where she is now doesn't really matter. Could you read this message? Although it's a bit lengthy, from Close, you could read it and then respond.
Okay, she says, wow, a mother and you're doing well in the business world. How were you able to handle all this? And also, when was your discovery? When was your discovery moment? Okay, so as a mother, yes, doing business and doing it well. So for me, I'm just gonna go straight and be honest with you. God helped me. God has blessed me with good friends, good family members, a wonderful husband who is very supportive. You see, it's one thing to have a husband or wife, and it's another thing to have, okay, Nigeria has happened to us again. But if you can hear me, I'll just be saying, I'm telling you, they like to come on soon. We're so sorry about this. Yeah, so having a very supportive partner is another thing. Having a very, very supportive family member is one other thing. So for me, I'll say that I had very, very supportive husband, number one, supportive families, members, supportive friends. So what did that do for me? As a musician and as a businesswoman, whenever I needed to travel, whenever I needed to go for my musical tours, my sisters, bless their soul, they're always around. So, don't worry, the kids. I remember that my girls were still very young. My daughters were still very young. I think I started music when Tega is about 18 now. She was practically 4 years old or thereabout then. And then they would tell me, don't worry, just go. My husband would tell me, go, we'll be fine. So I'll travel. I remember when I started traveling abroad to bring things myself. He would tell me, don't worry, just go, we'll be fine. And one thing I did, so that's one part, having supportive family, friends to help your dream, because this was a dream and a vision for me. Fashion business, for me, it wasn't just about making money. It was, first of all, the love, and also I call it a ministry and a vision. I like to look good. I like to make people look good. So I do it with all my mind. I do it with all my heart. So when I started traveling, it was easy because I had people who will support me. So that was one. Another thing was priority. I prioritize. I'm not everywhere, right? I value my family more than anything aside from God. So I do not jeopardize or take for granted. If I have to be around, I have to be around. That gig, go wait. Do you get? So that is another way that I have been able to maintain. I don't overdo things. I'm not taking every booking. You want me to come here? You want me to come? No, I choose. I have to be at one place at a time. I'm not the kind of musician you see everywhere, because I have family back home that I have to take care of, that are also important as the business or the music whoever I want to go and sing for. So I prioritize. I'm not everywhere. So that helps me to also manage my time and also manage my business and also be there for everybody, at one point or the other. Both my customers, my family, and then my music lovers as a whole.
Yeah, thank you for that. Let's even talk about for people who want to start business. This is 2023. A lot of times people will say, motivational speakers will always tell people, have a second stream of income. Have a second stream of income.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so what will you tell that young girl? Because starting a business is really not a walk in the park, for people like you who have been there, people just see the end result. They don't know how you started. So what are some of the challenges you think upcomers will face, and how can they go through that? But first, let me read this message here. I guess you'll be shocked when you see who sent it. It's from Fumi Nguzo, celebrity in the house. That's Labake. Labake from Kano.
See my people.
Okay, so how would you encourage anybody, not just a girl, but anyone who feels pressured to take up a second source of
Okay, so
income?
so so to start with, it is not pressure. It is a necessity to have multiple streams of income as a person, man, woman, you know, it is a necessity to have second streams of income, second stream or streams of or third, fourth streams of income. So you once you have that understanding, then the next thing you need to have is passion. The next thing you need to have as a person who wants to make money, because if you want to do business, however small or big, first of all, there's a desire in you to want to become better financially, become better in whatever you want to do. You're tired of making maybe 10,000, you want to make 100,000, you're tired of making 100, you want to make a million, like that. So there has to be a drive, first of all, and then you must be ready to start. You must be ready to do what you have to do. Don't get me wrong, you must be ready to move, right? Whether circumstances are right or not. So what I'm trying to say is this: you want to start a business, for instance. Okay, I have 100,000 naira. I'm just using that as an example, because I'm going to also tell my story about that small beginning. So let's say you have 100,000 naira, and then you really want to do a certain business that probably require 500,000 naira for it to be grand, right? You do not have to wait until you have the whole 500,000 naira. Start from that very small level. Try to multiply that 100,000 to 110 first. Get to 115. Okay. If you need a shop to start a certain business, and then you need about 500,000 to do that, why don't you leave that shop first? Buy these things, move around. I did that personally. I didn't have a shop in Kano. In fact, I started from the boot of my car, like I said to you. The first set of things, when I started bringing things from the UK, 12 pieces of suits. I will never forget. Banker suit, 12. That was all the money I had. That was all we could raise that time. We bought it a box. I was super excited when I saw that, like, wow, you know. So I started in no time, 12 suits were sold. And by the next month, I was ordering 24 suits. Before you knew, I was ordering, till it got to a point where it was like my husband was like, you know what, you cannot continue to order anymore. It is not going to work. You need to find a way. So in essence, what I'm saying is start from that place. Your passion will push you to succeed, no matter your humble beginning. If you don't have passion and they give you 10 million, trust me, that 10 million will go down the drain. Okay, so these things follow themselves. They have to follow themselves like that. You must have the drive, you must be tired of where you are. And then don't let anybody cajole you. Don't despise your days of little beginnings. Let nobody tell you, you cannot rent a shop. No, for now, we will rent a shop, but buy my market first. Let me make profit. So this is my encouragement for anybody starting. I'm not saying now that if you have 1 million, you cannot start. Your 1 million plus your passion plus your drive will help you to succeed. So it is the missing link now that we're talking about. Whether you have 10,000 or 1 million, you need these factors to succeed. You must be motivated. You must want to. You must be tired of where you are. Okay, not just because you want to show people that you have money to do business. Whichever way you start from, you will succeed. And the second question you were asking about challenges, or what I mentioned, the challenges. You know why I laughed? Just a few days ago, I did like that. A whole meal, because I'm the type that when I come back from my business trip, everywhere, they're closed everywhere. Okay, so I missed something. From the boot of my car then in Kano, it became the place, the boot and inside the car. I remember then, Tega, that girl, there's nothing in this world I can't give her. Because it was me and her in the sun of Kano, okay? So she'll be in the car, and then I'll put her in her car seat in front of the car, and then be carrying her around Kano and all of that. But it got to a point where the car became small. So we had to now move her. We had to now move into the house. So when I tell you that my husband is supportive, you now understand. We moved into the house. It was so bad that every time I bring stuff from when I travel, when I bring things, the whole parlor, guys, everywhere there's clothes. In the dining area there was clothes. In the parlor, clothes. On the chairs, the man would just come from work and he would just tiptoe. pam, 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 and go into the room. He never complained to say, what is all this? No, he never did all of that. So that is growth when you start sincerely. So challenges in business is enormous, especially in this part of the world. So recently, I was just like 3 days ago, I was saying, oh God, what was all this? Because I needed to travel, and by the time they told me the price of tickets, and they told me the hotel I was going to stay, by the time they gave me the bill, before I travel, my brother, they're calling millions already. And I said to myself, I never traveled this travel. Expenses halfway is already telling me how many million you get. And then coupled with what's happening, the instability in the economy, the inflation and everything, people really want these things, but look at their salaries are not being increased. People are still around, the same salary, but the prices of things are moving. So all of these are challenges to a business person, big or small business. These are challenges. The prices of bread. I remember last year we bought bread 500 naira. So for a baker, for instance, flour, the price of flour. Right now, some salaries earners as of last year still earn the same salary, 50,000 or whatever. Now, price of bread that they used to buy at 500 is now 1,000. Yes, there's some bread now is 1,000. The one we used to buy here was 350 in 2021. Before we knew it was 400, 700. And the last time we went, I didn't even notice. But my child that said to me, Mommy, this bread is 1,100. I was like, wow, but we must eat bread now. So all of these things militate, and it hinders the growth of business because people are not able to afford it. So you are somewhat stuck because you buy stock and then you are just there with your stock. People come sparingly like that to buy. And, but so if some of these things improve, we will see. But aside that, you can just still find a way. Okay. Maybe like what I do personally, whenever I travel, I go for the very, very best option in terms of prices. I don't mind though. I would dig the whole market, looking for the best price available, looking for whoever is doing sale, because I know where I'm coming from. My Nigerian people is not a bed of roses. So I'm putting them in mind because I look for products for my customers. I don't look for customers for my product. I enter the market, I will say, look, this thing, they can buy this. They can at least afford this. So for them to be able to get and for me to make profits, I have to go the extra mile to. So there are things you can do as a business by looking for better deals. Okay, don't be in a hurry to want to just bring things. Look for better deals, cheaper options at every point in time, so you can be all right. You and your customers can be all right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's come back to music. But before then, I got a message here. Maxwell I think Maxwell is from Kenya. Is saying powerful. Thank you so much, Maxwell. He's always joining us. Thank you very much. Either Kenya or Tanzania, one of these African countries is where Maxwell is watching us from. So let's even come back to your music. It's 2023. What new jobs do you have? What new projects? We saw is a glimpse. You did us love truth of a video clip. So you just did us love truth. You just water our throat with 30 seconds of the video shooting and all of that. So what are we expecting this year from you?
Okay, so as a musician, music ministry, like I call it right now, it is a ministry for me. It's a passion as well. So I'm just a blessed person that God has given grace to be able to handle like that, these two things. I love music. It's my passion, it's my calling. It's something I do with ease. You see, when you're passionate about things, there is this anointing of ease that comes. So I am constantly writing, because I am a very fantastic songwriter by the grace of God. I'm constantly writing songs. I am, as much as possible, finding time to go to the studio. So there's always one thing working. There's always one thing cooking, at the back end. So last year, towards the end of the year, I just finished the song, and the song is a good song. If you remember my last song, Never Forget Your Love, you know how that song was. So it's a song that's coming out titled Running Over, and the song is ready. The video is almost ready. So I have that coming. I also have a couple of project like the one we're running right now, the prayer program we are having, teaching on improving yourself spiritually as a person. I'm anchoring that right now. That's a program that is running right now. The music will come, and then we have other songs that are going to follow through. Then as the year goes up, now they hear the remaining.
Okay. Mr. Maxwell came back again, and he says, "I am from Zimbabwe. Thank you for the great show." Yeah.
Oh, nice
Thank
to
you.
have you.
Yeah, thank you all the way from Zimbabwe. So I will read this one here, or maybe you take this one from Elegant V. She's asking you a question. Take this one, and then you can read it and then respond to it.
So she said, would you say passion for you, for your choice of business, gave you the right to succeed in the chosen field? Yes. First thing, like I said, there are some factors. Passion for me was one of it, because if you're passionate about something, trust me, you want to succeed in it. So if there is no drive, there is no result. Anybody listening to me, you must if there is no drive, there is no result. It's like someone who procrastinates. It is hard for you to be passionate about something and then procrastinate to get a result from that thing. Okay, so yes, passion, not just passion alone, right? But it was one of the major factors for me that actually really pushed me to succeed, because I was never stopping. I was never satisfied. I wanted to do more. I wanted to improve. I wanted to get, to get people excited. If you're happy with the things I bought, like people tell me, let me tell you one feedback I get from my customers in the business. They tell me, your clothes last so long. Somebody told me, I bought this dress 8 years ago. I'm still using it. So for me, my passion drives me to offer or supply excellent services. I go for the best. I don't just sell anything because I want to sell. My passion drives me to see satisfaction in the eyes of my customers, because that is how I'm going to make more money. If my customers are not satisfied, there's nothing that you can do about it. And if you have no passion, when customers come back to give you feedback, you are nonchalant about it. You are indifferent. Trust me, you will never see them again, and that will drive you to bankruptcy. And we don't want that. So we have to keep the passion alive.
I was at a banking hall. I forgot to tell you this many years ago, and the lady was just bragging. Someone brought suits for them in the banking hall, and she was like, no, if it's not Annie's London suit, so me, I don't wear it. I was just looking at her in my mind. I'm like, she doesn't know I know Annie. She said, madam, sorry, I can't. The woman was like, just test it, madam, look at it now, it's fine. He said, sorry, I only buy from Annie Purple Wardrobe. If it's not Annie's London suit, no, I don't wear anything. She was just even saying it with pride. I'm like, I wish Annie is here to even see this drama going on in the banking hall. So yeah, so many things I need to talk with you, but then time will not really let me do that. We need to wrap up in the next 5 minutes, but I know I'll bring you back. You're always a busy person, but I know I will still bring you back again.
I'll be very, trust me, I promise you. I'll be very, you know what you told me, it was 2 days ago. I said, my guy, I'm here for you. I'll be very,
you sure?
I promise to be available.
You know, we have been at this thing for 5 years. Even twice I came to Lagos with you on this interview.
No, this is New Year. New Year resolutions are flying everywhere. So one of them is I'll be available for my family and friends. Trust me.
Okay. So I'd like to ask as we wrap up. I know you touched on being a mother and how you were able to carry Tega along and then juggle family and all of that. What would you say to modern day mothers? We really lack that. Shamefully, we lack that. I'm a woman's advocate. They call me he for she. When I go to some spaces and they tell us parents don't always stay for their kids, blah, 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 I say it's not true. They will say parents don't stay there. Mothers, they are jumping out. Fathers, they are jumping out. And I tell them, there are women who don't work. They stay at home, but they don't take care of their children. They will watch all the Nollywood film from morning till evening. Their husbands will return, and maybe that is when they will even enter the kitchen and start cooking, and the children will eat at 10 p.m. But there are women who work, but they are able to manage their time. I know women who will leave the office for 30 minutes, rush to the market, buy things, bring it back to the office, close by 5, rush home, cook for the children, put in the freezer and all of that. So everything is about personal management. So what will you say to modern day mothers?
Okay, so earlier when I was speaking, I told you about setting priorities. So as a woman, first of all, or a human being, first of all, you must have priorities. If you are a freelancer, trust me, you are going to fail woefully in anything, not just marriage, in a whole lot. If you are freelancing in the sense that anything goes, no plan, no plan, no priorities, no boundaries around you, then there will be problem. So for a young mother right now who really wants to succeed beyond where she is right now, or you have children, or you are working, or you're stay-at-home mom, please, I would ask you what your priorities are in life. As a woman, you must have beyond just getting married to a man and then having babies. You must have a personal goal as a woman, what you want to achieve, where you want to be. So as you start having, if you are the type who goes to work, okay, there are ways you can arrange your life in such a way that it will be easy for you to live. For instance, you go to work Mondays to Fridays. On Saturday, please, madam, go to the market, cook in bulk, and put in the fridge. Okay? So it makes your life easier. When you have to come back, you don't have to be cooking. All you probably will do is to bring out the food or whatever you have to. And then we know some parents who have toddlers. Yes, and then they have to work. For me, my toddlers, like I told you, I had to stop working immediately I had my first child, and I never worked again. So it was easier for me to always be around, okay, for the children and to use my time. But then as a working class mother, you can use your 24 hours, maximize it, plan for it. Okay, so do the bulk cooking in the weekends. Just have little things at home, like things people could nibble on. In the cooking side, it will be different. Then if you need to take your babies to a very good, what do you call them, crutches, or by the grace of God, you get a very good nanny, because at some point in my life, when I had my second daughter, I now needed a nanny, because my family won't always be there to be watching. So I needed a nanny, and I was lucky to get a very good nanny who, when I need to run out, because I couldn't now start carrying 2 babies in the car to go and sell, or to be watching them while customers were coming into the house, because I was there. So I had to employ a nanny. This was 2 years into my marriage or there, but I didn't look for nanny immediately. It was when I started having my second daughter, a nanny had to come. Guess what? It made my life easier, because when I needed to be attending to somebody, the nanny could quickly feed Tega, or quickly, if they're around at home. So there are ways you can survive. And as a mother who doesn't work, madam or auntie, for Christ's sake, make your life useful. Don't sit down. There are women who are making money. Before the advent of, what do you call it, this social media, whatever, we didn't have that in 2005. We didn't have so much of social media in 2007, 8. We didn't have so much of that. But I was still a stay-at-home mom who was making money from home. Right now, I know a stay-at-home mom who doesn't have a shop. This girl earns nothing, makes nothing like that, less than $1 million every month. Nothing less. She does not have a shop. She does not travel. See what she does. Some of these kind of people come to me. They look at my pictures, because we do photo, we shoot pictures and everything for our clothes. They will look at your pictures and they negotiate with you, madam. I'm selling, and they post it wherever platform they are. So as people place orders, they come back to you. They will give you the address. You will ship. They've already given you your money. They've made their money. They never come up for their house. So you can do a lot of that. You can also buy these goods if you have the means. Put them up on social media. That's the easiest shop. It's a world of its own right now. People can be in. Recently I sent things to somebody in Ghana. I sent things to somebody has never seen me, but social media. So use your phone whilst you are watching your baby at home and you're sitting. Don't just watch TV. Make your life useful. So it's very possible.
Yeah.
Excuse
So
me.
finally, what we do on this show, we give people 30 seconds or 1 minute to greet their support mechanisms, their family, friends, their customers, their colleagues, and whoever has always been there for them. So, who would you like to greet as we wrap up the program now?
Um, my husband is somewhere in this house, probably downstairs, listening to me. I want to appreciate him so much for his support till this very moment. The man is everly supportive, and he tells me, "You are my light. You are the eyes," or something like that. This is what he uses. A strong woman, and I want to appreciate him so much. And I also want to thank my sister, my bestie. She's like my best friend in the world. Yes, that's her, fine woman. And my brother, yeah, that's my brother. That's my sister in Canada. I know these people have been so helpful to me in one, yeah, that's my brother too. In one way or another, and another, they have been very helpful, especially my sister. She's always there. She's always supportive because we live in the same, neighborhood. So she's always there. When you call her, she's right there. And she's I want to say thank you very much, Elegant V. I love and appreciate you. Thank my brother as well, Friday. And thank my friends, my colleagues in the industry, Ono Zario, Sammy, Kefi, wherever you are. God bless your soul. I want to thank a lot of my friends, Oluchi, Nikki Laoye. These are my parties right now. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for all you've been. And thank you, Mr. G, the GB, Emmanuel Gabari. Thank you for always giving me so much encouragement, because you're always there. And then you would just whine me small, and yab me small. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for not giving up. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for not giving up on me.
We no get choice. We have no choice. Thank you so much, Annie. It's been a wonderful pleasure having you. Any last word before we let you go?
Yes, the last word is this: put God first. With God, there is no height you cannot attain. With God, Muslim, Christian, put God first. Trust God, believe God. One. Two, have passion, have vision, have a direction for your life. Let there be a drive to succeed. Don't settle for status quo. Don't settle for less. Hey, that's my word. Never settle for less. There is more in you. There is more you can achieve. There is so much more in this life that God can help you achieve. So keep pushing.
Wow. I think we should add being a poet to your name and to your AKAs. Annie the AKA poet. Anyway, thank you so
I
much.
wish.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Annie,
you.
for being there for us. I want to thank everyone who joined us. Sincerely, thank you to Mr. Wesley from the United States of America who joined, and to Mr. Maxwell who also joined us from Zimbabwe, and all of our other viewers who joined us from Ibadan, from Kano, from everywhere. The videos are still here after the show. You can still watch. Just go to either our YouTube or our Facebook page at Shagalinku TV. Watch. We have viewers from Canada, from Thailand, that they always watch the show 7 hours after because of the time difference and all of that. So the conversations are always ongoing. So do watch, drop your comments. We hope to bring Annie as soon as her new work drops. Once a new video comes out, we'll like to have her here again, play the song, and maybe premiere it as well here. We'll always follow her up. She's our sister in the house, so we'll always follow her up and then bring it to you. I really, really want to thank everyone. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, urging you all to stay blessed and have a beautiful, beautiful time. God bless you all. And once again, Happy New Year. And I'm wishing you the very best that God has to offer this year. God bless you all, and bye bye.